Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel, Ivan here. Today we'll be checking out these two fairly new G-Shock GST releases from Casio. On the left I have the GST-B100GC, which comes in black and gold, while the GST-B100GA that I have on the right combines black and khaki colors with some gold accents on the dial. And luckily I also have a GST B300 here and my GST B200 to help me make a little comparison. Before we start, I just want to give a quick shout out to the guys at Relojeria Esparza here in Spain who lent me these watches for a review. If you're looking for a G-Shock or a Seiko, contact them, tell them I sent you and they'll give you a better price. I'll leave their contact information in the description below. Since it's the first time I feature a GST B100 on the channel, this video will have a review format and I'll be showing you one or the other when I talk about their different aspects. That being said, let's get started. The first thing you should know, guys, is that these watches are big. The case diameter measures almost 54 mm and what we would normally call a lug-to-lug is 58 mm. The thickness is 14 and the weight is 101 grams. However, when on the wrist, they don't look stupidly big. Here you can see the B100GA on my 17 cm or 6.7 inch wrist. It looks awesome and it has a ton of wrist presence. These watches are also super comfortable and the resin band plays a huge role in that respect. In case you missed it, the GST B100 was released in 2017 and it was an instant success as it combined G-Shock's signature design with great functionality in a reasonably priced package. And that's why we continue to see it being released in different colors 4 years later. One of the things that the GST B100 stands out with is its rugged, durable design. It has a metal bezel on top which is nicely brushed, a resin mid-case and a solid stainless steel backplate. Overall, guys, the build quality is great, the watches feel very solid and well made, and just like most G-Shocks, both are 200 meters water resistant. My only complaint here is that the crystal is mineral, and although it's somehow protected by the bezel, I would have preferred sapphire instead. Next, let's talk about what's behind the crystal. The GST B100 is fully analog, and I really like the design of the dial and the layout. If you're familiar with the GST lineup, guys, then I'm sure that you recognize the hands and the hour markers. I really like how the latter give a certain three-dimensionality to the dial, and also the way they play with the lights. And in my opinion, the touch of green on the second hand on the B200GA model looks fantastic. The next thing that catches your attention is the Turbine-inspired Subdial at 9 o'clock, which serves as a battery level indicator. I think it looks super cool, especially when it's moving. Then the Subdial at 12 shows you the date of the week and also the different modes, while the one at 6 is for a second time zone with an AM/PM indicator to the right. Finally, there is a date window between 4 and 5 o'clock, which is fairly well integrated since the date wheel is black. Moving on, let's talk about the functionality, and guys, these are not the most feature-packed G-Shocks you can get for the money, but they do come with a stopwatch, a countdown timer, an alarm, dual time and smartphone link so that you can easily set things up via Bluetooth. The GST B100 models are also solar powered, which is probably the feature I like to see in a G-Shock the most. No atomic timekeeping though, but I don't think it's a deal breaker as you have Bluetooth connectivity. Now that we've covered the specs, let's talk choices. And guys, in my opinion, both watches are great and both look fantastic. Black and gold has always been a killer combination on any G-Shock and this one is no exception. The B100GC has a black IP case and bezel with gold-plated buttons and the black resin band. The backplate is also gold-plated and so is the buckle. However, if I had to pick between the two, I think I would go for the B100GA, which also has a black IP bezel, but the case is not plated. I do like the gold accents on this one, and as I mentioned a minute ago, the green second hand looks really nice. The resin band here is dual color with the inner layer being olive green. It's a weird combination, I know, but it goes together surprisingly well. Plus this model is a bit cheaper, it retails for €329 in Spain, but you can get it for €279 from the link in the description. On the other hand, the black and gold model is a bit more expensive. Its MSRP is €379, but once again Relojeria Esparza has it listed for €322 at the moment of recording this video. And remember that if you contact them and mention the channel, they will give you an extra discount. But if you're looking to buy a GST B100, I would suggest you consider the GST B200 and the GST B300 before you make your final decision, as they are in the same price bracket and share the same design language. The main difference is that both the B200 and the 300 are ana-digi, while the B100 is fully analog. For instance, I made my purchase decision based exactly on that. I went for the B200 because I already had an MTG B1000, which is fully analog, so I wanted to add some variety to my G-Shock collection. Another slight difference are the dimensions. When compared to a GST B200 and the GST B300, the GST B100 is the biggest out of the three and also the heaviest, but not by much. The B100 crown guards are the reason why it appears bigger than the other two. However, on the wrist all three models are very wearable and I'm sure that they will fit wrists even smaller than mine. In comparison to the B100, the GST B200 has a smaller case diameter, 49mm. The thickness of both is about the same, 14.1 versus 14.5, and in this shot you can also see the differences in design. I would say that the GST B200 looks cleaner, while the GST B100 looks much more aggressive. Then we have the GST B300, which is 50mm wide, but because it doesn't have a crown, it looks way smaller than the B100. The bezels on both watches look very similar, with 6 screws. The B300 has a different handset, which is a bit more legible, but out of the two, the B100 would be my pick, simply because I'm not sure how I feel about the backlight button on the B300. But how about you guys? If you had the choice, which one would you pick? Leave me a comment in the comments below. Finally, the recently announced GST-B400 is about to be released. It will be the smallest G-Steel in the lineup with a case diameter of 46mm and a thickness of just 12.9mm. It will be available in 4 different configurations right off the bat, so maybe you want to wait for that one instead. I'll most likely feature them on the channel once they become available here in Spain. So that's the end of today's video, guys. I hope I didn't confuse you too much with all these GST models. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate if you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.